you look at something like this. Hundreds of knobs, cables going everywhere, lights flashing all over the place. And your brain just goes absolutely nuts. But here's the thing. Most of the classic sounds you've ever heard run on the same idea. 3 parts. That's the whole secret. Now, there are actually many types of synthesizers. FM synth, granular or wavetable synthesizers. They all work and sound very differently. But the most classic type, basically the one that started it all and the best place to begin, is called Subtractive Synthesis. And that's the one we're focusing on today. Every subtractive synth, no matter the brand or the price, is built around 3 things. A sound source, a filter, and some kind of volume control. That's the whole signal chain. So let me show you what that actually means. The sound source is called an oscillator, and all it does is vibrate electronically thousands of times per second. And that vibration is the sound. On a guitar, it's the string that is vibrating, and on the synth, it's the oscillator. That is the raw, unfiltered sound. And that's the point. The sound contains the whole spectrum of frequencies. And from here, we need to subtract. We need to carve away all the things we don't need to get a nicely shaped sound. And you control the pitch by changing how fast it vibrates. More vibration, higher pitch, slower vibration, lower pitch. On the first analog synth, that was done by something called control voltage. But on many modern synths, we have keyboards that send either control voltage or some digital signals to control the pitch of the sound. And you can also change the shape of the wave, and that is called a waveform. On the Moog Mavis, the synth I'm using today, you can morph between a sawtooth wave that is very bright and full and a square wave that sounds more hollow. There are other waveforms too, for example sine or triangle, but square and saw wave are the ones you'll use most. Step 2 is the filter. That raw oscillator sound, it's got a lot going on. Too much actually to sound really musical. And we use the filter to carve it into shape. Maybe think of it like a tone knob, but way more powerful. You can cut away frequencies or emphasize certain points of the sound. The most common type is the so-called low-pass filter. Low frequencies can pass through, high frequencies get cut. Listen to this. You turn the cutoff down and it gets darker. You open it up and it gets brighter. And if you now add something called resonance, you can emphasize the frequencies right at the cutoff point. It's that squelchy, vocal-like sound you hear in a lot of electronic music. Just listen how it sounds without resonance and how it sounds with resonance. There are other filter types too, for example high-pass filters or band-pass filters, but the low-pass filter is the most commonly used filter type, especially for beginners. Step 3 is the VCA, the amplifier. You got a sound, you shaped it, but right now it just plays forever the moment you press a key at the same volume. And the VCA actually controls how the volume behaves over time. For that, we need something called envelope. That's basically a shape for the volume. You might have heard the term ADSR. Attack is how fast the sound comes in. Decay, how quickly it settles. Sustain, how it holds. And release, it is how the sound fades. For example, slow attack, long release, when you get a very soft, almost floating-like sound. Compared to that, quick attack, short decay, you get a very immediate and plucky sound. Same oscillator and same filter, but the envelope changes how the sound spreads and moves over time. So, the oscillator creates the sound, the filter shapes the tone, and the VCA controls the volume over time. That is called subtractive synthesis. And that's how basically every classic synthesizer works. Moog, Roland, Sequential, they all start here. And in the next videos, we'll dive deeper into synth to see what all the other knobs actually do. And if there are things you want me to cover, just leave me a comment below. And if you missed the first video in the series, where we listen to what different synths actually sound like, I'll link it right here for you. So, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching and make more music. Bye.